Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Go figure, get the figures, let's make about 8.
Cash rule, cash rule,
When worst come to worst, my peoples come first. I was hardly making George before I'd written a verse. Kept my mind straight, no hate, work with my ambition. Invested in my ideas when nobody would listen. They told me I couldn't do it, so they think I could buy it. But they ain't even trying, ain't no need to deny it. Black continuity.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I want to say good morning, good morning, good morning. It's early in the morning, and I'm getting an early start because this whole weekend, I have really been thinking a lot about this one thing with with Gayle and Kobe Bryant and all this other stuff. This is really something that's big for me because I really have a lot of empathy for what our brothers are going through in prison, and our sisters too. But we know that the mass incarceration epidemic was something that was designed to destabilize the Black family. It was something that was designed to undercut the Black family and the Black community by killing the Black man. And so when I see people contributing to the mass incarceration of Black men, which is leading to all kinds of violence against them. These brothers are going to jail. Some of them are getting raped. It really makes me say, as a Black man, I need to be speaking up on this. And so anybody who thinks that this is old news, anybody who thinks that the Gayle King story and the Oprah story is just not interesting to you, that's fine. I mean, you can go ahead and go join the Klan or whatever it is that you want to do, because I'm going to focus on the things that matter to my community. And that means I got to do 10,000 videos about this topic. I will, because this is not just a conversation piece. This is life or death. This is life or death. And I hope you can agree with me. Give me a yes or no if you agree that this is a serious thing when you have powerful Black people in media that are using their power to make Black men look like criminals, to make Black men look like prison inmates. I don't know. Give me a yes or no, guys. If you've been watching this Netflix documentary, I think it's called "Who Killed Malcolm X" or "Who Shot Malcolm X," something like that. I don't know if you've been watching this documentary, but it's really interesting in that there, even with Malcolm's murder, there's an argument that a lot of brothers went to prison for over 20 years for something they did not do. Because nobody cares about what happens to the Black man. So, so when I hear people say, "Oh, this is old news. This isn't interesting. Why do you want to keep talking about it?" I say, well, we need to keep talking about it until we solve the fucking thing. If we ain't solved the fucking problem, then we need to talk about it until we solve the fucking problem. So I hope we can all agree that we need to solve the damn problem. So please give me a yes in the chat if you agree with what I'm saying, if you follow me. And also, if you believe that Black people should come first, type B1 in the chat. We're B1 up in here. We don't put nobody else first except ourselves. So hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Also, please hit the please retweet. If you're on Facebook, please share this to your page, all that good stuff. So let me jump into this. This is the question for this morning. And this question was on my brain last night. And it actually came from something I saw posted by my friend Jade Arendelle. Jade Arendelle is a brilliant Black woman with FlyNubianQueenTV.com, and she posted a really interesting question. I'm gonna give a shout out to Jade for this. Jade actually went and asked this really compelling question. She said, Oprah went on TV talking about all these death threats Gayle was allegedly getting, right? That Gayle was running for her life. That Gayle was this innocent little victim, even though Oprah is worth $3 billion. She could probably buy she literally could afford to buy the bank account of every black man in America, right? So Oprah has an insane amount of economic power, but yet she morphed herself into a Becky. I call this Beckyitis, or the art of the Becky, right? And then you have the black Beckies, the double Bs, the BB, type BB in the chat if you know a black Becky. And so Oprah, being the black Becky that she became on that TV show to garner sympathy, basically starts crying and saying, "Oh, Gayle has been doing terrible, and she's getting death threats, and Bill Cosby's tweeting from jail. Like Bill Cosby's a threat from jail, right?" And so all this was happening. Now process this. As a result of Oprah's statement alleging that Gayle was getting these death threats, people started reacting to the Oprah statement. People started reacting to it as if it were true. Right? People were, CBS, their senior executives were coming out in public saying this is appalling, this is despicable. You had people publicly supporting Gayle and saying this is wrong and people shouldn't do this to Gayle. And then I saw somebody else talking about the death threats. Another prominent person, I'm trying to remember who it was. Susan Rice. Susan Rice comes out and makes a really threatening statement. Like, she makes a real threat. Like, now you can say that you can make a claim one way or the other about what you thought about what Snoop Dogg said, but while that's debatable, Susan Rice's comment on Snoop Dogg was not debatable in terms of it being a threat. Let me read what Susan Rice said to Snoop. Like, she was sending him a warning. I don't know if you guys saw that. But hit the thumbs up button while I pull this up. Please hit the thumbs up button. This is on thehill.com. Susan Rice, who was a former national security advisor for President Obama, which means she's a very powerful woman as well. She's not just powerful in terms of being famous. She's powerful because she has deep state power. Like, she has friends that could get Snoop sent to prison for the next 50 years, right? Like that type of power. And so she says that Snoop, back the fuck off. You come for Gayle King, you come against an army. You will lose, and it won't be pretty. Now, that sounded pretty threatening to me. I don't know, give me a yes or no if you thought that Susan's words sounded pretty threatening. And that's a threat we can document, right? Now, here's the other interesting thing too, though, right? So one of the things everybody was reacting to was Oprah's statement that, that all these threats are pouring into Gayle. And I would like to know, where are the receipts? That's a basic question, fundamental question. I'd like to know, where's the proof? Where's the evidence to show that these threats are all coming in? And the reason I think that the proof is important is because what Oprah basically was doing with the art of being a black Becky was she was basically garnering sympathy by utilizing the image of the black man as a threatening, violent person that's filled with toxic masculinity. Do you get what I'm saying? And please give me some confirmation in the chat and let me know you understand what I'm talking about. The black man is already seen as out of pocket, very threatening, very scary. People clutch their purses. You got black women that clutch their purses when a black man's around, right? In fact, I know black men who fear black men. I know black men I also know black men who've been killed by black men, right? So you got violent people on all sides of the spectrum. And in the history of this country, nobody's been more violent than the white man has been toward the black man, right? We know this, right? That's why they have more. Actually, Minister Farrakhan mentioned that to me when I spoke to him once. He said America has more guns than people. And most of those guns are in the hands of people who are not black, right? So, all this idea of like, we want to get the guns out of the hood or turn your guns in for a bag of groceries and all these other silly little campaigns they have give the impression that black men are toting all the guns when it's actually the white men who have all the guns, the white men who tend to be the threats, the white men who tend to be the terrorists. When you see all these school shootings, who's behind those shootings? I don't know too many black people that are behind any of these mass shootings. I don't know. You can tell me if I'm wrong, right? So, but there's still always been this image of the black man as being violent and scary. So Oprah was leaning on the image of the black male being this violent, scary creature in order to garner sympathy for her friend Gayle. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And also, don't forget, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can have it for free. Go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Somebody type that in the chat, write it down so you can have it. That's drboycewatkins.net. And also my website is boycewatkins.com. I put lots of resources on there, things you can sign up for, for financial stuff. We support black filmmakers with Boyce Watkins Films. So we got a lot going on. Of course, you guys know we have the Black Business School and things like that. So anyway, let me move forward here. All right, so here's one thing that's interesting with Gayle and Oprah. When I saw Oprah going on TV, crying, doing the Black Becky routine, I found that really interesting. Now, the other day I showed you guys a picture of Oprah's team. Oprah's when Oprah took her staff. There was one image on the internet that I found where Oprah took her staff to Hawaii with her. And I'm gonna show you a picture of Oprah and her staff. Now, if you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see it. I'm sorry, guys, but you can go to drboycetv.com if you want to see this image. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins. So this is Oprah and her staff. And if you look at this picture of Oprah and her staff, there's very few Black people in this picture. Most of the people in this picture are white women. Like pretty much, I'd say about 70-80% are white females. I don't see any Black males at all in the picture. I see maybe 4 Black females. This is her staff. These are her advisors. These are her confidants. These are the people that she rolls with, the people she rocks with, the people that dictate her agenda. And I can tell you, your team is very important. Without my team, I can't get anything done. My team helps define and shape who I am and what I do, right? So your team matters. So when I see that with Oprah, it reminds me of college. Now, in college, I might have mentioned, if you guys have been riding with me for a while, you've heard me mention this before. I used to date a Black Becky. I dated a Black Becky when I was in college. Now, and it was fascinating. Check this out. Y'all gonna trip over this. She was from Nashville, just like Oprah. She was a journalist, just like Oprah. In fact, her dream was to be like Oprah. And she grew up without a lot of good Black male role models in her life. When she talked about her father, it was never a good conversation. And that's why I say to you guys, be very careful about dating a woman who hates her father, because if she hates her father, she's eventually going to hate you. That's just my theory. And 9 times out of 10, she's going to eventually hate you, because every man becomes your father. So if you are in that category, there's still hope. Like, just go get some therapy so you can work through that shit, so you don't mistake every man that you meet for your father. Like, that's just real. Same thing is true for a Black man who hates his mother. Ladies, don't date a man who hates his mother, because he's going to have an issue with women, period, until he works through that process. So anyway, I'm dating the Black Becky in college, and she was from Oprah. She was from Nashville, just like Oprah. Was a journalist, just like Oprah. Had never seen a lot of good examples of Black men in her life, just like Oprah. And I remember that her favorite movies, it was real fascinating. I've psychoanalyzed this many times. When you get older, especially when you're a professor, like I'm a professor, so I think about everything very carefully, very deeply. I see a banana, I think about the banana, how the banana got brown versus yellow, or why they put the sink over here instead of that. Like, I just do that, right? That's what you do. That's what a PhD is supposed to do for your brain. So I analyzed that, and I remember thinking about also her favorite movies were, pay attention now, her favorite movies were a movie called Father of the Bride with Steve Martin. And that was basically this film about this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl who was having this fairy tale wedding. And to me, it was like an image in her mind, like a fantasy. You ever see a Black person who is almost like Janet Jackson was in what was it? That movie she did with Tupac. You know what I'm talking about? Where, you know what I'm talking about, Poetic Justice, right? Where you like dream of getting out of the hood and away from all the craziness and away from like the trauma that you feel that Black men are causing for you. And so one of her favorite movies was Father of the Bride. And the other one was The Bodyguard. And The Bodyguard, if you recall, does anybody remember The Bodyguard? The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston was a film about a Black woman who fell in love with a magical white man, Kevin Costner. So Kevin Costner was the white guy who took this bitter Black woman away from all of the trauma that comes with her being a Black woman, right? So that's kind of what I call the Meghan Markle-itis. Like, I don't really know like what she does exactly now. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was one of those Black women who sat around fantasizing over the Meghan Markle wedding. And in fact, actually, let me show you guys a screenshot of a trailer picture for Father of the Bride. So this is Father of the Bride, right, with Steve Martin. And this is also The Bodyguard. So you see The Bodyguard here, Whitney Houston kissed up on Kevin Costner and, all this other stuff, right? Well, here's the reason I bring her up. Because I dated a Black Becky, and I didn't know she was a Black Becky at the time. I didn't even know what a Black Becky was at that time, because I was only 19. But I remember one time when we were talking, she gave me game, like she gave me the secrets to the art of the Becky. And this relates back to Oprah. This is why I'm telling you this story. So she told me, she said, that sometimes, she said, sometimes when I want something from you, I know that I shouldn't get it, but I'll act a little spoiled in order to get it. Right. And I said, well, really, what do you do? Like to get, she said, well, sometimes you just like you whine and you act like you're the victim. And no matter what he did, you just act like it's his fault and he hurt you. And she said, and then if nothing else works, then you cry. She said, then you cry. Right. And so, so I thought about that. Right. When I saw Oprah crying, when I saw Oprah crying over the Gayle King thing, it made me think about the Black Becky that I knew, and how crying is a tactic that is used by manipulative people to garner sympathy. Right? Crying isn't always because, and guys, we fall for it. Like if you're a good guy, like sometimes the worst thing in the world is to be a nice guy because and not all the time. I think it's okay to be I like being nice to people. I don't want to be an asshole. But sometimes the downside of that is that you have people that take advantage of that. And ladies, have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen, or maybe you've been tempted to cry because you know that if you cry, you win the argument. If you cry, what that crying does is that it puts you in a protected class in that space. You become the victim. And when you become the victim, nobody wants to attack a victim. Nobody wants to be accused of being mean to a victim, right? And making the victim cry more, right? So basically, Oprah cried. Oh, you remember, Oprah's a boss. Oprah is not a wimpy little powder puff. Oprah is a boss that has $3 billion in the bank, right? But Oprah, cried because Oprah was trying to garner sympathy. It was a deliberate strategy. So anyway, so basically, this use of crying to gain sympathy and then flipping that into, let me tell you more about what these terrible Black men have been doing to us, right? It goes into, and then she uses terms like misogynist, vitriol, and stuff like that. I saw all that really as a tactic. And so one of the things I really wanted to know, again, I want to use accusatory language. Since they were using accusatory language toward Black men, when a Black man's accused, they don't try to find out if he did it or not. They just start talking as if he's guilty. They start acting as if he's guilty, right? So for example, I don't know if you guys know that CBS, who I think you should boycott, by the way. In fact, if you agree with me, type boycott CBS, type the hashtag boycott CBS in the chat, because I want that to be a hashtag. Everybody hashtag boycott CBS, because CBS is the one who orchestrates all these Negro fights, just so you know. So hashtag that right now in the chat, boycott CBS, so that hopefully we can be on the same page and on the same code on this. So here's the thing, with CBS, and their approaches to these issues. I don't know if you guys know, but Justin Fairfax, who is the former lieutenant governor of Virginia, I believe, is suing. He's a former lieutenant governor now. Like, this brother is bad. This brother is highly educated. He's suing CBS right now for $400 million because Gayle King did an interview with two women that accused him of inappropriate behavior 15, 20 years ago. Something happened in the bedroom. There is no evidence. There is no proof. But Gayle interviewed them as if they were telling the truth, as if it were real, as if it actually happened, right? And same thing. What's another? Tavis Smiley right now is in a big lawsuit with CBS. This is the Black man. This is the struggle of the Black man in real life, in 3D view for you to see it like as it's happening. Tavis Smiley is suing PBS. He's taking them to court right now because PBS, it basically said, well, we found out you had sex with a lot of women and we don't like it and we think that makes you a predator, right? Well, Tavis is like, no, Tavis is fighting back and good for him. I no lie, I didn't really the Byron Allen lawsuit. It was cool. I was happy for him. I wished him the best. Good luck with that. But that didn't get me going as much as this gets me going. The Byron Allen lawsuit was nice, but I saw that as more of a business dispute. I saw that almost like the way I saw Kaepernick versus the NFL. I saw that as a labor dispute. Like I want you to pay me and you don't want to pay me. So I'm going to make this about the whole community. So the whole community will help me get paid, right? Cap is going to make his money. Byron's going to make his money, right? But when I see the Tavis situation and I see the Justin Fairfax situation and I see the Russell Simmons situations and I see all these other situations emerging, like right now with the Kobe situation, I see these situations as being the things that affect Black men everywhere, right? Most Black men, in fact, if you are a Black man who has been falsely accused of doing something you did not do, I want you to raise your hand. I want you to be heard. I want you to make yourself seen in the chat. Just say I, or if you know of a Black man who's been falsely accused, whether it might have been something like a sexual assault. I hope that never happened to you, but it might just be somebody who accused you. Like if you went to school, I remember being a kid and being accused of doing stuff at school and I didn't even do anything and I get put in detention anyway, right? Or you're in a relationship and it doesn't go right, and because she's looking for sympathy, she's using Becky tears or whatever. She goes and says, "Oh, he was emotionally abusive," and you're sitting here and you're mad because you're like, "Wait, you abused, like you tried to abuse me." I don't know if you've ever. I mean, that happens a lot. Well, you'll have a man that's getting the shit kicked out of him by some woman, not physically, but mentally, right? Because women are sharp, women are smart. Women, a strong Black woman can tear a Black man down if he's emotionally vulnerable to that woman. Like, we don't talk about that, right? How many of y'all see these little sons out here that got mamas that are bitching in their ears, screaming at them, yelling at them, degrading them, talking shit about them? You ain't shit, you dumb little nigga. Get your stupid ass up, emasculating them at every turn. And, I mean, it hurts. It hurts, right? And nobody talks about that, right? Nobody talks about that. So I think that this resonates because I think every Black man, most Black men can describe what it feels like to be falsely accused of something you did not do. And this is a part of America's history. This is not just you. It's not just me. It's not just Kobe. It's all of us. And this isn't something that just started last week. It's been going on for 400 years. That's why you have so many Black men hanging from trees with their balls cut off and their penises shoved in their mouth and burned at the stake because somebody accused them of doing something they did not do. Accusing the Black man is an industry. And a lot of Black women participate in that. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Don't go to .com, go to drboycewatkins.net. So the last thing I'll throw in here is this. With Oprah, I think that, so when I speak on this, when I ask you, did Oprah falsify all these death threats that Gayle received? I'm deliberately using accusatory language. I'm deliberately going to assume you're guilty until proven innocent. I'm deliberately going to lay this out as fact until you prove that it's fiction, because I want you to just kind of understand how it feels to be accused of something you did not do. When you interview Justin Fairfax's accusers without even verifying the facts, that's what you were doing. You were assuming he's guilty till proven innocent, because we all know that if they interview your accusers on CBS, it don't matter if you're guilty or not, you're still going down. I don't know if y'all remember that Gayle King used to say that her measuring stick of whether or not she date a man is she would ask him if he thought OJ was guilty. And if he said that I think he could be innocent, she said I wouldn't date him anymore, because in her mind he was guilty. So for the Black man, there is no justice, because it doesn't matter if you're acquitted. It doesn't matter if all the evidence comes out to say that you didn't do it. Michael Jackson was under all kinds of surveillance before he died. He went on trial before he died. He was brought before the court of law and looked at it with a fine-tooth comb before he died. Priscilla Presley, his ex-wife, they asked her, they said, did you ever see him do anything inappropriate with children? She said, no. He went through all of this scrutiny before he died, but yet you still behaved as if he was guilty. So the point of the matter is this: there is no level to which the evidence can be presented that will allow Oprah or Gayle to conclude that an accused Black man is innocent. There is no standard of justice for them. There is no proof of that, because you get convicted when you become accused. The minute you're accused, in their mind, you're convicted, and there is no pathway to redemption. There is no pathway to redemption at all. So I think that Oprah and Gayle, maybe they'll think about it, maybe they won't. I mean, who cares what I think? I'm just some guy who's running his mouth on the internet, but I'm gonna run my mouth until the wheels fall off. I ain't got, I'm not CBS. I don't have 50 million viewers, but I got about 1 million, 2 million a week that watch me online, and I'm going to talk to those people. And I'm going to lay out facts and information and logic, because I know that y'all ain't stupid. I know y'all see the same thing that I see. And, maybe sometimes big revolutions come from people who start off with little initiatives. So I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, or I guess it's 5 something here in Denver, because I literally woke up out of bed this morning thinking about that, and thinking about how ridiculously unfair it is. And also, once again, going back to my basic question that I would ask Oprah Winfrey: where's the proof? Where's the proof? You're going right here and you're accusing Black men of being threatening and violent and threatening Gayle King's life as if she's a victim. Okay, show us. Just go online, go on Instagram, Twitter, maybe get 20. I need 20, because Gayle has, millions of people saw her interviews and all this stuff. I need 20 hardcore death threats copied out of her email, out of her Instagram, or whatever. So that ain't much. That's like not even 0.001%. So give me 20 hardcore death threats that were in Gayle's email that led to you going on public television and indicting Black men everywhere for being threatening and violent. And then I'll talk about that too. In fact, she could give them, of course, Oprah would always be welcome to come on this podcast and defend us. I told you guys, I'll never talk about anybody on here who can't come on here and defend themselves. I don't do what Gayle and Oprah do on their platforms. See, Gayle will interview the accusers, but will never want to speak to the accused. That's another telltale sign that they're not looking for the truth. Think about this. You're interviewing Russell Simmons' accusers. Did you want to talk to Russell? Like, what happened when you reached out to Russell? You interviewed Justin Fairfax's accusers. Okay, Justin Fairfax, did you interview him? I'm not saying she didn't. Maybe she did. I mean, if she did, then I'm wrong. Then send me the interview. My email is boyce@boycewatkins.com. But this idea that they're talking to Becky, but they're not talking to the Black man, that right there is another problem as well. So that's what I'm seeing right now. And I wanted to share that with you guys, and I appreciate you guys for hearing me out. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, please retweet this right now. Use the two hashtags. That's what we should start doing. We should start using hashtags out of our conversation. So the 2 hashtags I'd like you to use on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere you can use it as much as possible in every conversation are: 1, boycott CBS. The other one is Oprah lied. I saw Malik put in a hashtag Oprah lied. I like that hashtag Oprah lied, because I believe Oprah lied about these death threats. I don't believe that these death threats, I think that she was reciting maybe what Gayle might have told her, or maybe she was saying something that she felt was going to get sympathy. But I think that when you make a serious accusation against your community like that, you should provide some receipts. Give us some screenshots, but don't just give us 1. I want 20. I think 20 is a fair number. And if you show me 20, then I guess what? I will put those 20 on my YouTube channel. That's what it is. All right. So I got to go, guys. If you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Everybody type Oprah lied. Type that hashtag in the chat, Oprah lied, and boycott CBS. Put that in the chat before you go. Also hit the thumbs up button before you go. And my website is boycewatkins.com. That's boycewatkins.com. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Peace.